Today on the list, how to make new friends as we age, Bad Bunny's incredible rise to stardom, and why a spray tan isn't as bad as you think.
We've come so far in the world of sunless tanning to create really natural looking colors.
Plus, meet the robot that helped uncover the secrets of Mars.
We're on Mars, everybody.
But up first, discover pro athlete's secret to positive thinking. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey friends, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes. And Jimmy, how are you doing?
Yeah, well, Jimmy, right on. According to a life coach who counsels pro basketball players, if you want to optimize your potential, that is a question you should be asking yourself.
In fact, he has entire conversations he says you should be having. Little confabs among me, myself, and I.
That's right, questions to help you create the life you want. That's our featured story at the top of the list.
All NBA teams have a mental health professional on staff who helps players' performance both on and off the court.
Being in this helping profession has been really important to me, and I'm thankful for it and love to do it.
Dr. Corey Yeager is the life coach and psychotherapist for the Detroit Pistons. He wrote this book, How Am I Doing? It lists 40 conversations he says you should be having with yourself. And the best way to start is to listen to what you're saying in your head.
If you pay attention to that self-talk, you'll oftentimes find out I'm really negative with myself. That's not good.
Think about this.
If you took a transcript of that negative talk that you had with yourself and handed it off to someone else and told them to read that transcript back to you, you would be avoidant of hanging around that person.
Work on thinking more positively. Now, onto the questions. First, what's your essence? It taps into who you are in a deeper sense.
I think it's one thing to know who you are on a shallow level. I'm a black male, it's a father, it's a therapist.
He says that's a shallow description.
But the deeper essence of who I am, I'm a giver, I'm a healer. I think it tunes into a thing in therapy that we talk about is knowing the core version of self.
Once you identify your essence, you may feel more centered.
Because I want to share that with others. And I can't really choose to deeply share it if I don't really understand it.
His next question, what are you proudest of about yourself?
It helps you understand what it is that really kind of invigorates you or gets you moving in a way that you can smile at yourself.
Too often, it's all about others' approval.
I'm not going to wait for anyone to smile at me. If they smile at me, that's a bonus. I'm going to smile at myself.
Instead, slow down and think about all you've accomplished and what you're good at.
If I can understand what really gets me going and moving, I can emulate that in my life more often.
Finally, ask yourself, who is on your Supreme Court?
This conversation about developing the Supreme Court in your life has been one of the most cornerstone things that I've had throughout my life.
He just naturally sought out people who were influential in his life.
It's those 3 to 5 people that we can turn to in our lives that are truth tellers about who we are, our value systems.
Someone on your Supreme Court isn't necessarily a friend you would hang out with.
One of them is a former advisor for me in my PhD program.
These are people that you can bounce ideas off of, and they'll give you honest feedback.
And he's going to shoot very straight with me, even to a point that candor that he would bring may be uncomfortable, like, oh my God, he said that, but he's right.
Important conversations you'll want to have with yourself are at the top of the list.
Put on a hat with a big old brim, slather on that sunscreen, wear layers. I mean, we all know how to protect ourselves against sun damage, but what if you could get that golden glow without all the risk? We're shining a light on the basics of sunless tanning.
Sunless tanning isn't what it used to be.
Self-tanning or sunless tanning, a lot of people are worried about turning orange and it just not looking very natural, or some people worry because it doesn't have the most pleasant smell. But we've come so far in the world of sunless tanning to create really natural looking colors.
To level up your confidence and get you that natural, sun-kissed glow without enduring any of the heat, we spoke with sunless tanning expert and founder of Infinity Sun, Veronique Monroe. Starting with the benefits.
The reason people want to do this is what, for health or to avoid health risks?
Well, there are two reasons. One, because people look better and feel better when they have a tan. And also, not only that, but everybody likes to be tan, but they don't want to take the risks of going out and, getting the UV rays for premature aging of the skin cancer, all of these things. So within 3 minutes, you can get as dark as you want to be. The color can be very even all over the body.
But before you head to a salon, you need to prepare your skin.
Preparation and aftercare are key to the success of self-tanning or spray tanning. Your skin cells shed every 7 to 14 days, on average every 10 days. So you want to make sure that you're starting with skin that's cleansed, that's been exfoliated, so the skin cells on the body are young, healthy skin cells. Okay? Because then the tan is going to adhere better and it's going to last longer on the skin.
For best results, remove any unwanted hair before you begin.
And how about just hydrating my body? Should I be drinking like water for the whole week before, or is that important?
We always say beauty from the inside out. So hydrate internally and moisturize externally.
And lastly, after you've applied your sunless tan or gotten a spray tan, maintain your tan.
Your first shower is very important. You don't want to use any body wash or any soap on your skin for your first shower. You want to rinse with warm water, use your hands to gently remove the cosmetic bronzer nice and evenly. Pat dry with the towel, because the towel, if you rub, it's got exfoliating qualities to it.
Then apply your moisturizer.
That will help prevent transepidermal water loss. So your natural daily water loss, that will seal everything nicely and keep your skin nice and moisturized, hydrated, and that will help keep the tan on the body longer.
And once your tan starts to fade, there are products you can use to freshen up and touch up your tan.
Do you want to do a spray tan?
You know what? I've never had a spray tan.
Okay, have I convinced you?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Oh my gosh. This is a huge difference.
Right?
I want to give you a hug, but I don't want to get spray tan on you.
Spray tan hug.
We're giving you a tan without the sun.
When you're in school and then in your 20s, it seems like there's always friends around. But as you get older, people have families and careers, and that number starts to shrink. So Jackie Danker looks at how we can reverse that trend and has tips on how to boost your population of friends.
When you reach your 40s and 50s, your circle of friends probably looks nothing like it did in your teens and 20s.
When we're younger, oftentimes our groups of friends bleed into each other more easily. As we get older, it's very common for us to have work friends and gym friends and soccer mom friends and traveling friends that might not ever know each other.
Kim Buck, executive team member with the Family Strategies Counseling Center, digs into this phenomenon called situational friends and gives us some friendly advice on how to make new ones. And it all starts with proximity.
Proximity just sort of happens. I moved into a new house and I'm next door to somebody just who happens to be wonderful. And we hit it off right away.
She says proximity, like an office setting, is a breeding ground for bonding.
You almost don't have to make happen. It happens for you, and it's a matter of taking advantage of and looking around.
Within this proximity, it's easier to strike up a conversation to see if you have common interests. But there are some caveats.
Have a good sense of internal boundary, like, less is sometimes more as you're getting to know people. Find those commonalities, but telling all at the first time we meet somebody is usually not a good idea because it can overwhelm the person you're talking to.
Next, repeated, unplanned interactions.
We just have to think through our day. We have to think, where do I go? You have the possibility of creating a connection with somebody you might not otherwise.
This can come from seeing the same people over and over at a coffee shop, walking your dog, or at a kid's sporting event.
Looking up from my phone, looking up from whatever it is I'm doing, and noticing people around me is the first step in those repetitive, interactions to finding friendship.
She says in these situations, many people might find it awkward to be the first one to speak, but it can work to your advantage.
I'm always shocked when somebody says something to me like, hey, I like your car. And I'm like, what? But I appreciate the risk. I appreciate that they're willing to connect.
Last but not least is engage in a safe space.
Like if someone walks their dog, see if you want to go walk your dog with them if you've got one, or I'd love to go on a walk with you when you get up in the morning. I meet them where they are. I think that creates safety.
If you notice a pattern of interest in someone you see regularly, Talk to them about it.
I wash my car once a week. People are curious, why do you hand wash it?
She says this starts a natural, unforced conversation that can evolve over time.
Those are the healthiest people that I've met who have a good, solid community to grow at any stage of life.
Friendly advice on expanding your social circle.
Still to come on the list, how a Mars rover defied expectations and rewrote history.
They unequivocally discovered that there had been past water on Mars.
And hands-on museum exhibits for the whole family.
I get to spend the day having fun with my family.
Plus,
Bad Bunny!
the crossover Latin artist taking the music world by storm.
Bad Bunny is probably the most important artist in the world right now.
All that and more ahead on the list.
Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so in 2003, NASA and JPL sent a pair of rovers to Mars.
Pair of rovers sounds like a couple of dogs, but no, these are little like remote control space rovers, little vehicles. And they hope they can endure those harsh conditions for, maybe 3 months, but instead they just kept going, sending back an amazing amount of research and discoveries.
So cool. Good Night, Oppie is a new film that documents their life and time on the Red Planet. Hattie DeJamal shares the otherworldly adventure.
Liftoff of the Delta rocket with Opportunity, a chance to explore and unlock the secrets of our neighboring planet.
NASA's Opportunity rover launched with a boom and landed with a bounce on the Red Planet back in 2004.
We're on Mars, everybody.
To celebrate the legacy of Opportunity, affectionately known as Oppie, filmmaker Ryan White and Amazon released Good Night, Oppie, a documentary that chronicles the life of the intrepid rover.
The signal from the vehicle is solid and strong. Opportunity is on Mars.
Ryan shares some of her greatest achievements, starting with the fact that she was only designed to survive 90 days, yet made it more than 14 years.
You get this feeling of we're basically invincible.
It is quite a feat in engineering that it was able to survive for that long. They didn't know how they were going to run until they miraculously landed on Mars and then were able to be tested out in the climate that they were intended for.
And that climate is hostile. Highs of 95 degrees and lows of minus 166. Then there were the dust storms.
And we were concerned that would be the way that she died.
But in truth, the dust devils prolonged her life,
which essentially acted as car washes for these rovers to clean off the solar panels and give them an extended warranty.
Ryan also shared Opportunity and her sister rover's Spirit's scientific legacy, proving Mars had a watery past at their respective research sites.
What we discovered was that those are features that form in water.
Oppie's sister Spirit also discovered a warm, watery past on her side of the Martian planet.
Her scientific legacy is huge. They unequivocally discovered that there had been past water on Mars.
We'll wrap with Opportunity turning tragedy into triumph, with sacred equipment that was built into the rover. Oppie's rock collector container was created with very special aluminum from remnants of the World Trade Center.
It actually had a kind of memorial plaque on it for the victims of 9/11.
They kept it a closely guarded secret for years until the reveal.
And they recognized it. It was the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
You can catch Good Night, Oppie streaming on Prime Video now. Celebrating a legacy of guts, glory, and scientific achievement.
She rewrote the history books.
Good night, Opportunity.
While kids' schedules at school are most likely Monday through Friday, sitting in a classroom, they could really expand their horizons with field trips and weekend getaways in so many ways. Teresa Strasser's mixing recreation with education at these kid-friendly museums across America. Hey, Teresa.
Thank you. These museums won't just boost your kids' brains, they also look like a blast. Coming in at number 1 is the Children's Museum of Phoenix in Arizona.
Coming to the museum means I get to spend the day having fun with my family.
This location offers 3 floors with amazing exhibits designed to provide a learning environment through play.
The 3rd floor has so much to do. They can play pretend shopping in the market, cook dinner at the Texture Cafe, race cars at Pit Stop, and more.
Programs include Awakening Creativity, where the littles can dig into performing arts like dance, music, and drama with one mission:
to engage the minds, muscles, and imaginations of children and the grown-ups who care about them.
The museum also offers their First Friday night event where families can come free of charge.
What do you love about First Fridays, Ethan?
I like because we get free stuff.
Learn more at childrensmuseumoffphoenix.org. Next on our list is the Children's Museum Houston in Texas. This museum includes programs that are designed to help support educational subjects like math.
Hi parents, I have Abigail and Cameron here, and they're gonna help us play odds and ends.
And science.
Wow, the water is flowing towards the balloon. It's actually bending.
This location also hosts family-friendly events throughout the year.
Come dressed in a spooky costume.
For more info, visit cmhouston.org. Our last stop is the Boston Children's Museum in Massachusetts.
My favorite spot in the museum is Boston Black. I like the car and the supermarket, and there's other fun things to do.
This 3-floor museum offers exhibits that focus on
health and wellness, science and math, world cultures, and the arts.
And most importantly, it gives families the opportunity to
play together, explore together, learn together, and have fun.
Love this. If you want to know more, visit bostonchildrensmuseum.org. And those were 3 museums that will make kids smart and make them smile across America. Lots more to come on the list. Stay right here.
Friends, we are back, and on today's playlist, Bad Bunny had one of the best-selling albums of 2022. It's had 12 #1 hits, and it was just announced he's going to be a headliner at the Coachella Music Festival in April. So we are looking at some of the coolest things you may not know about Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny is the Puerto Rican star dominating the entertainment industry with the sound of Latin trap and reggaeton. He's one of the most streamed artists in the world who recently wrapped up the highest-grossing tour ever for a Latin artist, and even made his feature film debut next to Brad Pitt in Bullet Train.
How much bigger than that does it get, you know? Bad Bunny is probably the most important artist in the world right now.
Jerry Puyes, Latin music programmer at Apple Music, tells us more about his career, starting with his meteoric rise to fame. As documented in YouTube's Artist Spotlight Stories, Bad Bunny started sharing his music on SoundCloud in 2016, and by 2018, he had made his breakthrough.
We're really only talking about from his first album to now, maybe 4 years. He's grown that quickly.
Yeah. That year, he released hit songs with the likes of Drake and Cardi B, and went mainstream, most notably doing so singing and rapping exclusively in Spanish.
That's actually a really big part of who he is. He's never really tried to get involved with music in English.
I do whatever I want. It's about doing what you feel.
He makes music for his island of Puerto Rico, and for some strange reason, the rest of the world really resonates with it and they like it.
His global fan base has fallen in love not just with his sound, but also his gender non-conforming style.
He's shown people that you could be yourself and you don't have to copy the same thing that everybody's doing.
He's comfortable wearing skirts, dressing in drag, and painting his nails. An eye for fashion that earned him an invitation to the Met Gala and collaborations with brands like Jacquemus, Adidas, and Crocs.
He made it normal to just be who you are.
Finally, Bad Bunny knows the power of his platform, and he often uses it to share socially conscious messages.
Bad Bunny!
He's done so twice on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. In 2018, he brought attention to the help still needed in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. And in 2020, he spoke up about the murder of a trans woman on the island by wearing a shirt with the words, "They killed Alexa, not a man in a skirt."
He understands that his voice is very powerful, and he's very careful with what he says and using it for the right reasons, in my opinion.
And that's your glimpse into the unstoppable career of Bad Bunny on the playlist. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list. Man, the mid-90s, they were so cool. The music, the style, the fashion, most of which is trendy again.
And also back in style, The flip phone. Look at this from CNN. Gen Z has a new vintage technology to obsess over. I don't know about vintage, makes me a little offended, but yes, fancy, expensive smartphones are taking a backseat for the younger generation because they say they're in need of a disconnect, as much as you can disconnect in 2023.
Yeah, one reason, their mental health. One actress, Dove Cameron, said she switched to a flip phone because she was spending too much time on social media and all that time was bad for her.
You know what? I applaud her for knowing her limits and making a change. But you know, other Gen Zers say having a flip phone is just a vibe. And I don't even know what that means.
Come on, Jimmy, just a vibe. It means just a vibe.
Oh, well, that totally clears it up, KG. Thanks.
Fans of the flip phone, they also like the grainy pictures they take too. I mean, I feel like there's a filter for that, but okay.
So open up that junk drawer, reach way in the back. You might have yourself a little bit of vintage gold back there, but if not, you can grab one at Walmart for like 20 bucks.
Awesome. But if you really want the feeling of vintage but the prestige of dropping crazy amounts of loot, Samsung has one for a whopping $1,800.
$1,800 is what I spent on my car in the 90s. Come on.
I know, me too. Shout out, by the way, to my 1992 Geo Metro, $1,800. Can't wait for that guy to come back in style.
Just wait.
That's what's last on our list. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Tomorrow on the list, how estate planning doesn't have to be scary.
It doesn't have to be overly complicated. I think that's the confusion.
Plus, turning an indulgent pasta dish into a winter-ready soup.
Oh, man, that is fantastic.
And pull out your iPod. We are looking at the songs turning 20 this year. Tomorrow on the list.